Welcome on into Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and we have a doozy of a live show for you. Getting ready for all the Seahawks versus Commanders action. We got to go through some of the horrible news. Yes, there are trade rumors and so much more that we're going to get into during today's Seattle Seahawks live stream. There's 60 of you hanging out with us right now. If you have not had a chance to go and like the video, make sure that you go in and smash that thumbs up button. And right now I want you to go in. Oh, I see what's going on. Right now I want you to go shout out where you're watching us from. I think that would be the best way to get some shout outs in the chat because I see Devin Miller already hanging out. Anon, Pablo Domingo. What's up, Max? How you doing? Light Shadow Onyx always hanging out with the crew. Head on down, go and shout out your hometown. Ooh, Kansas, that's not a town. South Carolina, also not a town. That's okay. Austin, Texas is in the building. Robert's from Spokane. YouTube on your phone, shout out Anon. Carson City, Nevada. Chat Sports Live, Lubbock, Texas. El Paso, Texas. Got a lot of people in here from Texas. Shout out to Felipe and Max. Brian's in New Hampton, New Hampshire, however you want to pronounce it. We're an international show. We got England in the building, Nebraska, Louisiana. What's up, Chad? What's up, Jacob? Tristan in Philly, shout out. Light Shadow Onyx is a Washougal Panther. What up? Love Washougal. Just kidding. No, I don't, because I want my Hawkinson Hawks to win that. Tyler's hanging out in Portland. Jacob's out in Lafayette, shout out. Louisiana in the building. Austin's in Tacoma. How close are you to the Dome, man? That's how I always, whenever I'm driving in to Seattle, going to go watch a Mariners game, if I see the Dome, it's like, yes, 3/4 of the way there. We're almost there. Shout out Tuckwilla. What up? Love Tuckwilla. Everett, Washington. David. Hey, Silvertip's getting into action. I know the Portland Winterhawks aren't too good this year. That's for the WHL crowd hanging out. Kakai, I hope I pronounced that right. He's watching from Hawaii. Scott's in Bellingham. Hey, Scott, I had to go and play a lot of football games up in Burnaby, Canada, back when I was in college playing for the greatest university in the history of mankind, Central Washington University. The amount of times I stopped at that Bellingham Mall and had the stupid Cinnabon that's over there for dinner, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Keep coming in, shouting out your hometowns. Tyler asked, what's your hometown? My hometown is Vancouver, Washington, just north of Portland, Oregon. Enjoyed living down there for basically my entire life. Hung out over at Hawkinson High School. I was a Hawk. What's up, Pablo? How you doing? Devin Miller from the 44 minutes from the Superdome. Robin's hanging out in Salt Lake. Mike Nintendo Master, what up, man? Your rankings have been the talk of the town here at Chat Sports HQ. I'm trying to get myself up, but I'll tell you right now, third place ain't too bad. Speaking of someone who's trying to get up Mike Nintendo Masters rankings, we got to introduce the most important man in the building today. Producer Reed is back hanging out with us. Shout out to Producer Reed, having a good day. Loving it. How's it going, Producer Reed? You having a good time? You enjoying? You ready for the Halloween festivities that are coming up here soon?
I am very excited. I love Halloween. Halloween is my second favorite Halloween. By the way, Halloween. Second favorite Halloween? No.
Second favorite
holiday.
Ooh. You big dress up guy? Big dress up guy, huh?
I like dressing up. It's fun. If you don't like dressing up, you're just lame. You're just lame.
You know what? Here's the thing. I went through like phases on it where I was like not a super big dress up guy. I'm still not the biggest dress up guy, but I do like going out and like hanging out with your friends, having a good time, getting some Halloween candy, maybe having an adult beverage or two. And so I've come back around. You can't be the lame guy that doesn't dress up. You can't be the lame guy or girl. Like, you do something. Do something.
My cousin, he sorry, Mike. That's okay. Glad that you're here with us right now. If you're my cousin, he sent us a picture yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He's looks very similar to me, maybe more handsomer, and
that's hard to do.
Short hair, but like spiky hair, and he put a red flannel on and held brawny paper towels.
Perfect.
All day.
Brawny man. That's
Brawny man.
perfect.
It was perfect. That's all you need to do.
I've
Just find
heard
something clever, and you don't have to go all out. If you go all out, that's pretty cool. But like, just something cool and clever, and be fun and be interesting. Don't be like, nah, I'm not doing that. It's boring. No, I'm not a kid.
100%.
Shut up. Come on.
It's not that
fun.
hard. I've heard Brawny Man plays, by the way, if you're a single dude trying to meet some ladies on Halloween. Brawny Man, as soon as there's a spill, or maybe not even a spill, but you go up and you do the little fake wipe down of the table. I've heard that's a good way. Nice little icebreaker. Mike Nintendo Master, he's going as a baseball player.
Nice.
Are any particular baseball player, or you're just going as a baseball player? In a maybe not so shocking development, I'm going as Mr. Clean. I got some white pants. I got a white T-shirt. I'm a bald dude.
He is a bald dude.
I'll be Mr. Clean. I'm always Mr. Clean. Oh no, that's so unfortunate. Reed, they're saying that you're too small in the box.
Oh,
they need you bigger in the box.
Wait, no. Dredd said you need to make Reed smaller.
Oh, I thought he said he is too small.
What am I? Am I too close to the screen?
I don't know.
If I go right here.
I don't know. Ooh, going as one. You got your own jersey. Love that. Love that, Mike. Can't wait to see it, man. You'll have to send me a picture. If you send me a picture, Mike, I'll put it up on the stream on Sunday. Let me know. Because on Sunday, it's going to be producer Reed and myself. We do have a nice little 4-segment live today. It's the longest live that we've ever had here on Seahawks Today. So you guys are in for a treat. We've got bad news ×2 for your Seattle Seahawks. Although maybe I can get you feeling at least a little bit better by the end of the video. Is there a potential O-line upgrade? PFF, they got some trade rumors for your Seattle Seahawks that actually are completely different than any trade rumor that I have seen. So I'm very excited about that. You don't want to miss that segment. We're going to do our final preview, and then, of course, we'll use the mailbag. Make sure you use the hashtag Seahawks to get in on the show. See you later, Mike. Good to see you. We'll see you on Sunday. So remember, with the mailbag, if you want to be featured on the show today, as well as a video that will go out on Saturday, you're going to use the hashtag Seahawks to get your question on the show, or you can send in a super chat as well. So make sure you use that hashtag Seahawks to get in on the show. We have, producer Reed will actually be the one going in. He'll be pulling all those questions. We'll get you guys locked and loaded as we go through here. We're going to be talking a little bit of Zeitler, but there is a new person. There is a trade rumor that even I haven't mentioned yet on the show. It was one that at first I was like, no way, no shot. And then all of a sudden you start kind of thinking about it a little bit more, and it's like, hey, wait a minute. There might be something special there. There might be something to that rumor as well. By the way, through the month of November, I know we're not there yet, but I want to make sure that I do my part here on the Salute to Service. Obviously, the NFL does theirs as well. I thought this might be a cool time to get it started. So starting today, all the way until the end of November, on live shows, whatever the Super Chat dollar amount is, I will go and I will make sure that I do that amount in flights climbed on the Stairmaster. It's just a little bit of what I can do. I'm also going to be looking into some local different things that I can do, maybe with the Vancouver VA, which is where I'm from. My grandfather was a Marine in the Vietnam War. It's very important to me that I help and do my part in taking care of our veterans, because there's a reason why we are the land of the free. It's because of the brave. So I just wanted to make sure that I got that out there. So if anybody sends in any super chats today, not only will you be a part of a show today, you'll be a part of the show Saturday, but I'm also going to make sure that I head over to the local fitness center, the local gym that I'm a part of. I'm not going to give them a shout out because no free shout outs, but I am going to hit the Stairmaster for whatever that dollar amount is. So if we end up raising $15 today, that's 15 flights of stairs. Going to make sure that I do that there for you. 102 of you hanging out with us, 37 likes. We got to get those numbers up. And if you head on over and you smash that thumbs up button, we're going to be able to get into that first segment just a little bit faster. Mike Nintendo Masters doing the right thing, using the hashtag Seahawks. Joshua, he's doing a great job right now using the hashtag Seahawks, getting their questions in. Hopefully we'll get you guys up. I also want to make sure that I give Maryland a shout out in Seattle, Washington. Smoke Monkey in Shelton, Washington. Ooh, shout out to Shelton. Let's see. Where are we going through? Yeah, Jacob, unfortunately we do have some bad news. Look, it's the Seahawks, and sometimes things just don't go our way. Sometimes they don't just go our way. Producer Reed, if you could, can you throw up my socials really quickly? Because here's where I'm going to document that salute to service. I forgot to mention this. I got so excited to give shout-outs and to see some of the questions that we were getting in the group chat already, getting thrown in here in the live chat. I forgot to mention, I will be documenting my salute to service over on my Twitter and on my Instagram. So if you head over there at Will Ortner, you can follow me. Mike Nintendo Master does already. You'll see that not only will I hold up my end of the bargain, so whatever amount I need to in flights of stairs climbed, I will make sure that I do that. But you can also have a conversation with me about the Seahawks. There's plenty of people who slide into my DMs. Cody does it, and we talk about what's going on with the Seahawks, what moves we'd like to see them make, what changes we'd like to see the Seahawks make, or if there's just any questions. Like if you want to ask me a question about life, like that's cool. I'll answer whatever you want to send over my way. Mostly Seahawks stuff, though. We're at 50 likes right now, 100 people in the building. That's fantastic. Let's get to 60 likes. 60 likes, and we're going to start our first segment. Trigger, what's up, dude? Haven't seen you in a little bit. I don't know. It's become a game of massive chicken between producer Reed and I when it comes to the claps. And I gave up. You win. You win. Oh, hey, Ralph, shout out to you, man. That's awesome. Thank you so much for your service. We appreciate you, man. That's freaking awesome, man. Shout out to Ralph. 82nd Airborne, man. That's freaking fantastic. Thank you so much for your service. That's awesome. Thank you so much for your service, Ralph. We're 4 likes away. 4 likes away from getting this show on the road and getting into our first segment. You do not want to miss what the bad news is for your Seattle Seahawks. Unfortunately, it does involve me making some bold predictions and my bold predictions, unfortunately, being wrong. Zinuku, greetings from Germany. Sadly, can't watch the game. It's at 2 a.m. No worries. I know we will win easily. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, Coach Dreadhead. Let's get them likes up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bang. 61 likes. Appreciate it. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you again for coming in, hanging out with all of us. I see some people right now using the hashtag Seahawks to try and get their questions on the show. I also see some other veterans that are going through and putting their stuff in. Want to say thank you to Jacob. I appreciate your service, man. That's awesome. Land of the free because of the brave. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. All right. And bang! Friend of the program, a follower on X, Light Shadow Onyx. Good to see you. We're doing at least 2 flights of stairs at the gym this weekend. Light Shadow Onyx, what up? Good to see you. Trade Walker or Sharb for A-Chain. Right now, I don't think you need to trade either one of them. And I also don't think that the Seahawks are going to trade either one of them. Miami has this weird idea that Devon A-Chain is worth a lot more than I think he's really worth. And I understand that Sharb's numbers are not the same as Walker's. Walker's numbers are fine, but the running game really does need to get fixed on the whole. I think that Robbie Oots coming back is really going to change. Bless you. I think that's really going to change the outlook for this offense, especially this rushing attack from the offense. I think you're going to see Seattle get the ball rolling and get this ground game going. And so there really isn't a need for a trade. I mean, if you really think about it, this offense, when you're looking at the running back position or just the entire backfield when it comes to running backs and fullbacks, they haven't been healthy together this whole time. Sharp missed the New Orleans Saints game, and then that's when Robbie Oots gets hurt. So you have the 49ers game, and then you also have the Pittsburgh Steelers game where your running back stable is completely full, and those are the first 2 games of the career of Robbie Oots. Like, that just isn't fair to ask him to be at his top level. So I think that you're not going to see a trade at that running back spot, but I do think that there's a chance you get a pretty good offensive lineman to come into town. Hey, Jay, what's up? Good to see you. We'll get you on the show not only today, but we'll try and get you on the mailbag as well. We appreciate that here, AJ. And you know what? I am going to keep it up. 7 flights of stairs. We're going to get it done. We're going to get rock and rolling. Oh, dude, doing some little curls. Today was leg day, so I did a lot of we did some hamstring curls. It was a good time. Hey, look at that. We got it rocking and rolling just when we were about to start a segment. We got so many people that want to just support the troops, want to get their questions into the show. Man, we appreciate it. Dread, shout out to you. Thank you to all who served. You are what makes this country amazing. I couldn't agree more, man. I could not agree more. I would like to, I always am appreciative of Grandpa Gary. He is my best friend. I do appreciate him. I called him yesterday, talked on the phone for a good hour. Walk home, and then while I was making dinner, just talking about whatever. But I would not be here without him. Not just in the literal sense, but the fact that he went out and he put the ultimate sacrifice on the line, right? Like he helped make this country free. And we are free, but we're free because of the brave. So that's my personal, hey, I have my grandfather was a Marine. One of my close high school friends was a Marine as well. Shout out to Harry Fostier. Love him and appreciate him, not just for being a good friend, but also for going out and serving this country. And so I want to make sure that I reciprocate what Dredd is saying, man. That's awesome. Shout out to everyone who served. It's the Salute to Service month starting in November, and I want to make sure that all the service members know how much I appreciate them. So I got 12 flights of stairs. Remember, every single super chat, dollar value, that's what I'm going to do for flights of stairs during Thursday live shows. This is the lineup that we got coming. We got bad news for your Seahawks, which we are about to film right now. Then we're going to look at a potential offensive line upgrade. We'll get into the final preview for this game against the Commanders. And then, of course, the mailbag. So everyone who sent in super chats, you're going to be a part of that, and that'll go out on Saturday. So not only are you going to be a part of the live show that we have filmed today right now, you're going to be on the Saturday show as well. Without further ado, you guys got those likes up, 111 you hanging out with us. We're going to get right into our very first segment, which is the Seahawks. Fortunately, got some bad news. Welcome into Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and I'm an idiot. I'm a big, stupid idiot, and I came on this program. I made a video, I believe it was on Monday, maybe it was on Tuesday, where I said, Julian Love is back. The sky is not falling. Everybody is going to be healthy, and there will be no issues for your Seattle Seahawks. They are going to be great, and your safety is back 100% healthy. I think that was my exact line. You're finally going to see this secondary 100% healthy. And then he re-injured his hamstring and is officially out for this Sunday's matchup against the Commanders. I'm going to dive into what that means for your Seattle Seahawks, along with another bad piece of injury news. But before I do that, I need you to let me know. Go down below in the comments right now. Are you nervous for Sunday without your strong safety starter, Julian Love, being active? Are you nervous? I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. Yes, Okada has played well. Yes, Nick Emmanwori has played well. I still miss Julian Love running around making big plays for your Seattle Seahawks. So we got our full injury report up here from Wednesday's practice, and I think it's important to notice as you go through that our main man, Julian Love, hamstring, did not participate. Earlier on this week, I showed you this photo, and I said, he's on track. He's almost ready to go. Mike Macdonald said that he expected Julian Love to be out there running around, playing for your Seattle Seahawks. So much so that I said he's going to play. And that you're finally going to see this defense at 100% strength. And now I feel like an idiot sandwich. I need Gordon Ramsay to come up, put the bread on the sides of my face and say, I'm an idiot sandwich. I was ready. I was saying he's going to play. And unfortunately, I was wrong. Not because I had bad intel. I had the correct intel on Tuesday. Where I went wrong was that I didn't think about the possibility of re-injuring. Now, here's a extra downer for your Seattle Seahawks. This is coming from Hawk Blogger. He says, IR is in consideration for both Julian Love and Dariq Young per head coach Mike Macdonald. We'll get into Dariq Young's injury here in just a moment, but I want to dive more into this Julian Love. If he goes onto IR, he's going to be out for 4 more weeks. That's a whole other month. You're not going to see him till the end of November, possibly into December. Who are the replacements for Julian Love? Well, it's these two guys. Okada has, for the most part, really taken on that strong safety role. Now, some of that is because Nick Emmanwori was injured early on in the season, right? He was going through that high ankle sprain, and so Okada had to get some extra time. Well, Nick Emmanwori has returned to this lineup. He's playing great. He's one of the top defensive rookies in the NFL right now. But I do have to say, Okada, while clearly not a starting caliber safety, is a very strong quality backup safety because he does a variety of different things. Now, it's very rare that when I go in and I ask producer Reed to make a graphic for a safety that I say, hey, not only do you have to put tackles on there, you have to put sacks, and you have to put pass breakups, and you have to put interceptions. I wanted to throw in tackles for loss as well. When you think of a safety, you think of a coverage guy. A guy that, yeah, he's going to have some tackles, but he's not going to be one of your top tackle guys. Well, Okada, in the games that he's played this year, is one of the top guys for your team when it comes to tackles. He's in the backfield making plays. He has multiple sacks on this season. And he's also getting in the backfield, getting a lot of pass breakups when he's out in coverage. The other big thing for the Seahawks, Nick Emmanwori, man, this came out just today. So going into the season to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, Nick Emmanwori, plus 5,000. He's now plus 250. So you have two quality, and I do mean quality safeties, that can come in and steady the ship while you're without Julian Love. Now, there are still some things that you need to improve upon. Specifically for me, while they are good athletically, there are some miscommunication issues that continue to happen when both are out on the field. Okada, for me, was a big issue when it came to his communication during the Jacksonville Jaguars game, as well as the communication that he had with some of his fellow secondary members when you were playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You saw him get burned twice, a couple times deep, and you saw a couple other times where it was just blown coverage. Two guys covering one while the second guy goes completely free. Those things cannot happen. That all being said, they're more than capable backups for you. Both have been put in a position where they had to step up, and both have clearly stepped up and are performing at a high level. I know Nick Emmanwori is the toast of the town. That's the guy that I love the most. But Okada has been more than serviceable in that role as that strong starting safety. Now, I want you to tell me who you trust more. If you trust Okada to be that starting strong safety, you're going to go into the comment section right now and type TO. If you think Nick Emmanwori is more trustworthy and should move out of that big nickel position and play more at that strong safety position, you're going to type NE in the comments. I think if I had to go right now, I'm typing TO, but that's simply because of how good Nick Emmanwori has been in that big nickel spot. I like adding him into the box, and I also like adding him in more blitzes off of the edge. I think Nick Emmanwori just is too valuable in a role like that to not use him in that role. So then that leads to me trusting Okada just a little bit more. Now, the other big name that I want to make sure that we highlight going through on this is Dariq Young. He has a quadricep injury. He did not participate in practice this week for you, and he is not going to be playing in this game against the Washington Commanders. It's unfortunate that you see a quad injury derail what I think has been a fairly decent year for Dariq Young. Now, has he come in and completely lit the world on fire? No, of course not. It's not what you're asking him to do. But what he has done is come in and been a big-time performer when you've asked him in the blocking game as a wide receiver, but more importantly, in the special teams game. He's been great in that kick return spot or that off kick return spot, and he's had a couple of big runbacks, but he's also had a couple of big blocks for you. Now, earlier on in the week, you saw the Seahawks go in and sign former Saints kick returner, wide receiver, running back, basically gadget-type player, Velus Jones. And there was kind of a conversation of why would they go and sign him to the practice squad? What does that mean? Why is Seattle making a move like this? Well, that's clearly because of the injury to Dariq Young. Now, I think a lot of people in my comment section after I released a video that said, hey, Seahawks go in and sign Velus Jones. And they said, who cares? It's not a big deal. I don't care that he's replacing Dariq Young. Dariq Young's not a starter. This is a bigger loss than you realize. Dariq Young's a guy who's on every single special teams unit for your Seattle Seahawks. He is a player that does a lot of the little things that don't necessarily get stats, but he does it at a high level. And you're honestly one or two injuries away from really needing a Dariq Young on the outside. We've already seen Torrey Horton have some injury issues. What would happen, heaven forbid, if something goes the wrong way and you have some of the injury issues like your secondary does right now? Dariq Young's been in this system the entire year. He knows everything about it. He can come in and be a top performer for you. Well, now he can't because he's possibly going to go on IR. He's going to be a guy that isn't playing anytime soon. Now, hopefully, when it comes to that kick return game, if they do call up Jones, he can replace some of Young's production. I think that it's a sneaky good signing because it's a guy that you can call up a couple times while still leaving him on the practice squad. What do I mean by that? The Seahawks get to call up a couple of practice squad guys to the active roster every game day. And while Dariq Young is out, I think Velus Jones Jr. would be a great call-up. Use him in all the special teams. He's fast. He's energetic. He's athletic. I think he would be a great call-up for you guys. True or false? I've said that it was a smart signing. Some others have said that it wasn't a smart signing. Velus Jones Jr. is a great signing. I think he is. Maybe great is too emphasized there to you. And so you'd go into the comment section and you type F for false. I don't think it's too much. I don't think it's hyperbolic. I would go into the comment section and type true. Let me know what your opinion is down in the comments. I'll be replying to those that I see. I do want to leave you with some good news at the end of this, because it's been a very bad news, injury news heavy show. But before I talk about the good news, I do need to let you know about our good friends over at Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you could cash in. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. For this Sunday, I got a nice little 2-pick power play. Sam Darnold more on his passing yards. George Pickens more on his receiving yards. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. We got to look on the bright side just a little bit. I am a glass half full type of guy. I did tease, hey, there is something good going your way in Seattle. I think too often we look at the negative in this life and we don't dive into what has been going right for you, what has been going well for you. And I think that finally you get some good injury news when it comes to your secondary. And so I want to take one more look. And I want to show you just exactly who is back. Because I don't think that enough people have gone over to the second to last spot and looked at cornerback Devin freaking Witherspoon. Because when you look at his Wednesday practice, what do you see? Full participation. That means he was out rocking and rolling and running around for your squad. He's freaking back. Back, baby. I love getting Devin Witherspoon back out there. We went in and I was diving, scouring the internet, calling up all of the experts that I knew that were at practice. And finally, we get to see our cornerback one, our nickel one, going up against Jackson Smith-Njigba. This is a practice photo from Wednesday. He's freaking back, and he's running with JSN, fully padded up. He looks like he's ready to hit. He looks like that knee has gotten the swelling to go down. He's moving, he's cutting. If he's going out there and guarding Jackson Smith-Njigba, that means he is back. It's going to be so good to see Spoon back on the field. It's going to be so good to see Spoon in that nickel position. Imagine what Seattle is going to be able to do and head coach Mike Macdonald when you have Witherspoon on one side and Nick Emmanwori on the other. What if you have Nick Emmanwori and Devin Witherspoon on the same exact side doing all kinds of who knows what? Both are fast enough to guard wide receivers in the slot. Both are strong enough to take on tight ends. And both are mean enough to get after the passer if you want to add them into the blitz game. Shoot, both are tough enough to go up against a running back if you want to add them into the run blitz game. So there's your good news. Devin Witherspoon is probably going to be back on the field on Sunday. Why did I say probably? Because I don't want to do another I'm an idiot sandwich type of situation. Make sure you subscribe to Seahawks Today, though. We've got all kinds of great Seahawks information that is coming out every single day. We got videos. We've got shorts. We got full form, long form, whatever you need. We've got it here on Seahawks Today. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that. And until next time, I will see you all later. Awesome. Let's get it going. Joel's in Longview. What up? No, they did not. No, they just signed him. For Gaskin? You're kidding me. Oh, my goodness. They just did. They just did. Unbelievable. I see it right here. You know when they got rid of him? Right when we went live. Unbelievable. That's okay. Smoke Burp, what up, man? Good to see you. Max, what's up? Ted, how you doing? Good to see you guys. Yeah, Smoke Burp released him right when I got done going through everything. That's unfortunate. I'll go in and fix it. It's okay. That tells me that they brought him into practice, saw him after a day, and they're like, yeah, we're out on this guy. Because they literally got rid of Gaskin to bring in Velus Jones. And then they're like, yeah, that's not good enough. We're out on it. Brandon, trade Anthony Bradford in all caps, screaming and yelling. Hey, maybe we're going to talk about that potential trade. Maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll talk about a potential replacement for him. Maybe we'll talk about that. Make sure you're using the hashtag Seahawks to get your questions on the show. You can see that final segment. That's the mailbag. We still got 2 others before we get there. We're going to be using your questions. You want to make sure you use that hashtag Seahawks so we can get you on the show. And if not, if you want to make sure that you're on the show, you can send in a super chat, just like Light Shadow Onyx did, just like AJ did, just like Dread did, and we'll get you on the show for sure. And there's also a potential chance, actually not a potential chance, a guaranteed chance that you will be on the Saturday mailbag show as well. So if you want to be on a VOD, if you want to be on a video on Saturday, that's how you would do that. Smoke Burp. Hey, the Rams are probably going to sign Velus, get all of our secrets. I hope not. Willie the Kid's out in Tucson. How you doing? Max, who would even want Bradford, even as depth? He's cheeks. Well, it could be worse. There's a lot of teams that actually, look, Anthony Bradford isn't great, but he still beat out everyone who's a backup on your squad. He might end up being a quality backup for some teams. That might be a guy that ends up joining a practice squad somewhere else. Like, he's also someone that you might just keep in Seattle as a depth piece. Sometimes you just have to do things like that. Christian, how you doing? Good to see you. Make sure you're getting in using those hashtags. We got 97 people in the building hanging out. Got all the way up to 123 people hanging out with us. That's fantastic. Let's see if we can keep getting those numbers up. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Right now, I've got 12 flights of stairs. 12 flights of stairs. Remember, for every super chat that comes in, I'm doing a flight on the stairs. It's kind of my way of doing like a salute to service. I want to make sure that I do something physical to show my thanks to those who serve, but I also think that it will be important, and I think that you should do this. You don't have to, but it's something that I'm going to do. I'm going to look into seeing how I can help out at the local VA, or maybe go help out at the VA back in Vancouver, do whatever I need to do over there as well. Just want to make sure that I show my support to those who served. It's November, and Veterans Day is right around the corner. We wouldn't be here without our veterans, and so I want to make sure that they get the love that they deserve, not just from me, but from this show as well. We're on the road to 75K. Want to make sure that I keep you guys as up to date as possible. 74,313 people hanging out, or are subscribed. Excuse me. 74,000. Oh, producer Reed, did we have more subscribers before we went live? Look at that. Look at that. There's now 74,321 people that are subscribed to the channel. Remember, the goal is 75K, so we're what? 679? I think that's right. 679 people away from 75K. I think that we can get there by the end of the week. I really do. I think that on November 3rd, we're going to be a 75K channel, and I think that's possible. So if you have any friends that are not subscribed but love the Seattle Seahawks, make sure that they come in and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel. This is ridiculous. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Sean says we definitely need to draft a right guard in next year's draft. Well, we might not have to. And I'll tell you why in this next segment that we've got coming up. We might not have to because there's some big trade rumors, some big trade potential news for your Seattle Seahawks that we're going to dive into. There's 3 different sources, so I'm going to go through every single one on the next show. What do you think, Producer Reed? Do you think we're ready to do this thing? You're ready? Well, then shoot, I might just be ready. Well, then shoot, I might just be ready. Talking about Ricky Scoops. We haven't gotten Ricky scooped yet. Not yet. Hopefully one day. That's okay. We'll get it all rocking and rolling. And be all right. So this next segment that we're going to do the big trade rumors that are going on right now for your Seattle Seahawks. Big trade rumors. And I just can't wait till we get rocking and rolling. Let's do this thing. Yes, sir. Welcome into Seahawks Today. I'm your host, Will Ortner, and we have a jam-packed show for you. NFL insider Jordan Schultz has some O-line rumors when it comes to who the Seahawks could be targeting when it comes to a potential trade. Then we're going to talk about the PFF trade target that I haven't seen anywhere but PFF, and then they started going down reasons why that trade could happen, and I'll tell you what, sports pants got a little bit tight. I was real excited. I wanted that player out in Seattle. I still think that the Seahawks have a shot at getting him. And then, of course, ESPN, they're drumming up even more rumors for Riq Woolen. Will he get traded? I'll give you my opinion, and I'll go through the article there for you as well. But before we get into any of the action on today's show, I need you to go and follow me on social media, at Will Ortner. That's Twitter, at Will Ortner. That's Instagram. Guess what? It doesn't change. Neither do I. I'm constantly posting about the Seattle Seahawks, the latest breaking news, any of the rumors that I'm seeing, or just, frankly, any content that comes towards your Seattle Seahawks. Maybe some players are playing well that aren't getting enough love, and so I'll make sure to mention them. So go on over, at Will Ortner, and follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. Now, Jordan Schultz had this to say in a video that he put out on X. The Seattle Seahawks are on the market for maybe one more offensive lineman to help protect Sam Darnold. You think, Jordan? There's so many people in my comment section, shoot, myself included on my burners, saying, hey, Anthony Bradford sucks, and we need to move on from him. Now, that might be a little bit mean, but we've known that the Seahawks are probably going to be a team that is active at the trade deadline. They've done it before in the past. John Schneider not afraid to go make a move for a Leonard Williams, for an Ernest Jones IV. Why not? Why wouldn't he go and make a move for somebody else? If Jordan Schultz is in the know, something's going on. We're in up to something season. Why would every NFL insider, because now Jordan Schultz has reported, Adam Schefter has reported trade rumors, Diana Rossini has reported trade rumors, the Seahawks are looking for any help that they can get on that offensive line because it does feel like they are one piece away. Now, here's the question. Who could the Seahawks be targeting? Who in their right mind could the Seahawks think that could come in and make a big change for your Seattle Seahawks? Who do they think could be a nice trade piece for them? Well, we're going to go to my friend Hawk Blogger, and he had this to say. I think the only realistic move that the Seahawks could make that would be an upgrade at a weak position, like the Rams and 49ers have already done on back-to-back days, would be to go get a veteran guard. Well, here's the thing, Brian. Who are the veteran guards they could be going for? Well, he said Kevin Zeitler, Wyatt Teller, and Joel Bitonio. Those are all quality guards. Those are all guards that I agree. They would help the Seattle Seahawks. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Will, you don't usually pronounce names correctly with your Hawkinson accent, but you did pronounce those guys' names correctly, probably. And they do sound familiar. Now, why would they sound familiar? Well, that's because I made this graphic about a month ago. I made this exact graphic a month ago saying that this is who the Seattle Seahawks would be targeting if they made a trade for an offensive lineman. They have a weak spot at right guard right now. Anthony Bradford is graded out as one of the worst PFF guards in the National Football League. Not right guard, guards. Again, PFF, not the end-all be-all. But if you're in the bottom, you suck. And you probably shouldn't be starting. And I said you should make a trade with the Browns because they suck. And they got two good guards that would be an improvement for you. Or you should call the Titans because they have a guard that would be an improvement for you as well. That's why you subscribe to the channel. Everyone else is saying, hey, what if you called Cleveland? Hey, what if you called Tennessee? I was saying that a month ago. It's free. You don't have to buy the Athletic subscription. You don't have to buy ESPN Plus. It's free. I'll go in. I'll read the articles. I'll call my sources. I'll look at the experts. And then I'll give you who I think the Seahawks could be trading for. And then you'll find out a month later, if you don't subscribe to the channel, the same things that I was saying all the way back in September. That's why you subscribe. Accurate information about your Seattle Seahawks. Now, there is a new trade target. And this is coming to us from PFF. And I got really excited. I've been known to peruse the Brock and Salk show. And in there, Brock references a potential trade target for the Seahawks. So then I go back to the original article over at PFF. And it talks about a list of fairy tale trades that could happen in the NFL. And the Seahawks were on that list. And boy, oh boy, Seahawks fans are going to want to know about this potential trade because it had Peter Skoronski coming to the Seattle Seahawks. Left guard extraordinaire. One of the best young guards in the National Football League right now. Now, this is what Bradley Locker had to say about Skoronski and how he has played so far in his 3 years over in Tennessee. The third-year guard has played like one of the best at his position. This season, as evidenced by his 78.8 overall PFF grade. In fact, Skoronski has notched 76.0 plus grades in both pass and run blocking. Instant upgrade. Instant upgrade in Seattle. Skoronski would be your best guard. As well as Gray Zabel has played, he would instantly become your number one guard on the offensive line. You would probably move him to right, but you could potentially move Zabel over. Doesn't really matter. You are going to get better. And that's what's most important. You can move on from Anthony Bradford. Our long national nightmare could be over, and we'd have one of the best, if not the best, young guards in the National Football League. Bradley had this to say on how the offensive line is playing better, but why this would be such a vast improvement. Seattle's offensive line has improved this year, helping catalyze an offense that places 13th in success rate and 12th in scoring drive rate. Still, the Seahawks need more along their interior, as the team places 29th in overall PFF grades among guards and centers. There's 32 teams in the NFL. 29th sucks. First-round left guard Gray Zabel, he's played fine. Center Jalen Sandell and right guard Anthony Bradford are all below a 58.5 overall mark thus far. Yeah, man. The Seahawks have struggled. Now, to be fair, I would say that Gray Zabel shouldn't be included in the struggling statement. He has played well for you, and when he has his mistakes, when he has his losses, they are rookie mistakes. And they're not like, oh, he just got whooped. He's not turned around like this, looking at your quarterback get sacked on a play. He's not blocking Jalen Sandell on a screen pass. Those are things that I've seen Anthony Bradford do almost weekly at this point. So the question then is, how would Skoronski fit in Seattle? He's already a left guard. At this point, Gray Zabel, he's your rookie. He's at left guard. You can't play them both at left guard, and you're definitely not benching Gray. So what do you do? This is what Bradley had to say on that conundrum. Skoronski has exclusively played left guard in the NFL, which wouldn't necessarily fit cleanly in Seattle. Still, his ability to occupy all 5 offensive line slots was touted in his pre-draft evaluations, and Zabel also suited up at right guard during portions of his college days. Make it happen, John. Figure it out. I don't know how. I don't know what you give up. Figure it out. You'd have 2 of the best young guards in the National Football League. Road grading for your run game. Standing up strong and tall in pass pro. Figure it out. It's your clear weakness. It's something that Schneider, aside from Gray Zabel, and really that's about it, he hasn't been able to draft guards. Christian Haynes, looking at you, bud. Not doing too hot, man. 3rd round pick hasn't done anything for you. So at this point, you have an area of weakness. John Schneider's a very good general manager. He struggles at finding guards. Let someone else find the guard for you and then go trade the pieces away. That's my personal opinion. But I want you to make the call. How much would you give up for Peter Skoronski? Giving up a first? Giving up a second? Giving up Riq Woolen and then maybe some other capital? Let me know down below in the comments how much you would give up for Skoronski. We're going to dive into that ESPN article on the latest Riq Woolen news, but before we do that, I do want to let you know about my good friends over at Prize Picks. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you could cash in. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off, which ones are overhyped. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. I have a 2-pick power play for the action this weekend. Sam Darnold, more on his passing yards. George Pickens, more on his receiving yards as well. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Now, the last little piece that we need to talk about is ESPN's article that expanded more on the Seahawks' potential for trading cornerback Riq Woolen. Basically, ever since Ian Rappaport's piece about a month or so ago, a little bit over, everyone has been talking about Riq Woolen getting traded, and there really hasn't been an opportunity for that to happen. Now, Brady Henderson, the ESPN insider, did have this to say in the article on who could be a trade piece for the Seahawks. He says, Woolen, he is in the last year of his rookie contract and does not appear to be a part of the Seahawks' long-term plans. His 2 miscues late in their season opening loss to San Francisco continued a trend of mistakes in critical situations. And if not for Devin Witherspoon's knee injury in that game, Woolen's playing time since then would have been drastically reduced. Yeah, Brady, you're right. Brady's really smart. He does a great job covering the Seattle Seahawks. It's all true. But at this point, unless you get a haul, are you really going to trade Riq Woolen? Like, what's he going to come back? And at this point, the amount of injuries that you've had in that secondary, you can't logically think, hey, we'll trade Riq Woolen. An injury happens again. We're going to be fine. Throw out Nehemiah Pritchett. I'd rather have Riq Woolen than Pritchett. Riq Woolen at this point is a starter in the NFL. Now, he doesn't fit Mike Macdonald's zone scheme system. But you have shown too many injuries in the secondary. Julian Love might go on IR. You need as many players that have started for a multitude of time to stay in that secondary. I understand that he's not a part of your long-term plans. And if he moves on, you're not going to get anything for him. But at this point, why? I'd rather have him. I think this team has a chance to go on a special run. I think I'd rather keep him, and I don't think that the Seahawks trade him. Could I be wrong? Yeah, it's happened before. Maybe I was called an idiot sandwich the other day, but I'm probably not wrong in this situation. I think that the Seahawks are going to hang on to him. And I think that Riq Woolen stays in Seattle because of the different injury issues that you've had in that secondary. I think that he hangs out with you because, frankly, you need him right now. You might not need him in the long-term future when you can go make a big free agent signing for a corner that plays better in the zone. But right now, he's all you got. And hopefully he's all that you need. Make sure to go follow me on social media at Will Ortner, X and Instagram. You do not want to miss out on any Seahawks breaking news, any coverage, or just, frankly, some people that aren't getting enough shine for your Seattle Seahawks. I'm making sure to shout them all out there. So make sure that you follow me on X and on Instagram at Will Ortner, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Chad! Shout out to you, my good sir. What is up? You're going to be in a video, and you'll be in a video on Saturday. Teller would be my pick, but it sounds like there's some beef with current players on the roster. Yes. So, Teller, not a dirty play necessarily, but a play that you don't make in the preseason ended up leading to a high-low block and an injury to Uchenna Nwosu in his knee. It's been very clear that the defense does not like him all that much. Neither does Nwosu. Neither does some of the people in the coaching staff. I don't know that Teller would be traded for. Now, I do think that there is room, if you do make the trade for Wyatt Teller, you can smooth some of this over. I think that he kind of fits both with the here and the now. He'd be an immediate upgrade, plus he'd at least be there for longer than Bitonio and for Zeitler. But I would say that it does seem like kind of a far-off trade, although I'm down for some fairy tale trades. Give me Peter Skoronski. Give me Peter Skoronski. 17 flights of stairs I got going. 17 flights of stairs I got going. Thank you, Chad. Shout out to you. 100 of you in the building right now. 89 likes. Can we get that thing up to 100? We're rocking. We're rolling. We're trying to get to 100 likes. We need it. We want it. Remember, use that hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on to the show. Chad's going to be on our Saturday video. He's going to be in our mailbag. So make sure you use the hashtag Seahawks. You can see it up there in the yellow. Don't want to miss out on being on the show. Don't want to miss a question for you. Pop, do not trade Riq Woolen. I agree. I think we're at a point where I would have to say that I would agree with that. AJ Cheesy, 2 seconds, and Woolen for other. Second round picks will be late in the second round. Yeah, I see that. Second round pick, Max. Okay, that's not too bad. Sean, I agree. Zabel's been phenomenal. This is where my PFF issues come into play. J.J. Watt had his piece where it's like, how do you really know what they're doing? How do you really know what they're supposed to do? And so I think he's been phenomenal. I think he has to start. I think he's one of the best young guards in the NFL. I can't wait to see what he grows into. I would love to see him next to Peter Skoronski. I would love to see those two rocking and rolling at your two guards. I guess they wouldn't necessarily be next to each other. 90 and 90. 90 viewers, 90 likes. Let's get that thing to 100. Let's get as close as we can to 100. Ralph Schneider is a cheap ass for Lyman. His draft picks are good, mediocre seasons, and seems like he dislikes the 12s. I don't know if I would fully agree with that, Ralph. I think he gets good draft picks. I just think that the offensive line is an area of weak point for him. You got Charles Cross. Charles Cross is pretty good. Abe Lucas has been phenomenal. I think Zabel is doing a great job. Sundell's okay. And Bradford's okay. Well, Bradford's bad. I was trying to put lipstick on that pick. But at this point, I don't know. You tell me, what improvements do you want to see from the Seahawks? Producer Reed threw himself up on the screen, which is something that I love, and we need to see more of his bright and smiling face on this show. You've been around for all the lives so far, I think, or at least close to them. Close to all the lives. I think I did one with AC.
Yeah.
But I think other than that, it's been me and you or me.
Yeah, and only one watch party.
So
the in division.
That's right. You got to see the Arizona one, and you'll be here for the Commanders.
The tortilla uniforms.
Yes, the tortillas. Yes. Oh, you'll be here for the throwback unis.
Yeah.
It'll be a great time. Producer Reed will be here for the watch party.
The jersey producer.
That's right. You're a big jersey guy. People don't know that about producer Reed. He says he's from Philly. He's really from Jersey.
Well, no, technically born.
Really?
I was technically born
I was making
in New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I lived on the right on the border, right 15 minutes from the Delaware, which is the border of New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So technically, I was born in Trenton, New Jersey.
I don't think I knew that.
I don't think a lot of people know.
I was out here making a joke, and then you were like, well, Will actually got it right. I swear I wasn't snooping on you.
I was actually, my birth certificate says Trenton, New Jersey.
I swear I'm not creepy. Shout out to TJ Green and Tyler. Shout out to TJ Green and Tyler. Thank you guys for the Instagram follow. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate it.
Smoke Burp said, I would like to see Cooper's completion percentage get better. Yeah, you're not gonna get the Cooper Cup from 2021, unfortunately.
Oh, I think he's making a joke about the interception. Right now, Cooper Cup's 0 for 1 with 1 INT on the season.
Oh, I thought it was like catches. I was like, I don't think he gets that many targets, right?
He's become the big third down target. Yeah. So in third and medium, third and long situations, hey, you need to make a big move. That's been kind of the guy that you've gone and thrown the ball to. Smoke Burp's locked in. That's okay. Producer Reed's like locked in on all the teams. That was rude of you. You yawned, and now I'm fighting back a yawn. It's all that I can think about. Producer Reed, you've seen a little bit of the Seahawks. What is an improvement that you want to see from the team?
An improvement I want to see is utilizing more of the run game. You have two fantastic running backs.
Agreed.
I think you have to try and take a page out of the Lions playbook. You see how they utilize Montgomery and Gibbs.
Yep.
Obviously, Kenneth Walker is not Jahmyr Gibbs.
Right. But he's a Walmart version of it.
But he is a Walmart version. But I think, anybody who knows football, run game opens up the pass game. Pass game opens up the run game. They go hand in hand with, if one's working, that opens up play action, opens up the run game and the pass game a ton. So if you can do that well and you can pressure them with, hey, we're going to run the ball and get 3 or 4 yards every carry, it's going to make the game the game a lot easier to play.
I agree. I think that would be a big deal and a big change that your Seahawks could make. I think my biggest improvement is on that offensive line. The right guard center position is
I was going to say the run game comes from the offensive line.
It's bad.
And I knew that's an improvement. Everyone knows that it has to help.
Yeah.
Is this offensive line. So I was trying to figure out something different.
Fair enough. And I'm lazy. I'm taking the lazy man's way out there. I'm also not lazy in the fact that I played offensive line. So when I see two offensive linemen blocking each other on a screen pass, it pisses me off. It makes me furious. It isn't that hard to not block your own guy, right? You can figure that out. So at the end of the day, the O-line play does have to get much improved, especially in that center right guard spot. Now, I think your tackles are playing fantastic ball, and I think Gray Zabel gets better every single week, and honestly, I think he's been phenomenal. I really do think you're getting a lot of work out of him. You just need some improvement at that center right guard spot, and I think the easy spot to look at is that guard position, and I think you can make a trade, and who knows, maybe we'll have Peter Skoronski in. That seems a little bit excessive to me, but who knows? Who freaking knows? Smoke Burp. Coop is 0 for 5 in his career. We have officially hit 1 hour live. Hopefully we don't end up hitting 2, but you never know. I like hanging out with you guys, having a good time, talking. We have a lot of people that know ball here. Max is talking about trick plays. He's kind of over it. Brandon's over the trick plays. Don't hate that. Pablo wants the Seahawks to go get Bradley Chubb. I don't know that that's the move that you would make. I want Bradley Chubb. I mean, think about all the good jokes I can make for Bradley Chubb. We'd get in Seattle. We'd get Chubbed up. It would be great. It would be fantastic. Get a premier edge rusher. Okay, we don't say that one anymore. Oh. So I think if you get Bradley Chubb in, you get an elite edge rusher. And that would be fantastic to have. But I don't know that that's the most pressing need right now, and I don't know that that's a move you would make. Ty Man, what up? Good to see you. A couple of play actions can't hurt after a good run play prior, just a little. I agree, Ralph. I agree. And that's what this offense is supposed to be built off of, and I think it will be built off.
That's how I beat our coworker, who is also my best friend, Chip. That's how I beat him in Madden.
Hell yeah.
I run the ball 2 or 3 times, and then he's like, all right, I'm going to stop the run, and I run a play action bootleg and torch him.
Boom. It's open every time because you get them to load the box because they can't stop the run. Now everything's open in the passing game.
And I usually try and get we'll do 3 random teams, and I'll usually try and get a team that has a good running back. I'll pick a team that has a good running back out of the 3 that I get.
Yeah.
It's like I was the Bills, and James Cook is a good Madden running back.
He's a good back in general.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
And so it was good. I was like, I ran it like 3 or 4 times, and I got like 2 first downs. And he was like, getting killed by the run. And then I play action and hit a deep ball to Keon Coleman. Crosser. Crosser to Keon Coleman. Touchdown.
Perfect. Leaves everything open. For him. All right. So we're 3 likes away from 100. I'd love us to get there. If you haven't come in and liked the video yet, make sure that you do. So we're going to get into our last preview. Now, this is going to be a game day preview. So just remember, I'm going to be saying some things in this video, in this segment, that you're going to say, Seahawks don't play today. Just understand this is going to be a game day. You're traveling. We're going to the future. We're going to the future in this video. Afterwards, we're going to get into the mailbag. So make sure you use that hashtag Seahawks to get your questions in, or you can send in a super chat. Remember, for every super chat that comes in, I'm going to be doing that amount on the Stairmaster either tomorrow or on Saturday. I'll document it, so make sure that you don't miss out on that. 100 likes because we hit 101. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. We love you. But we're going to get into our third segment of the day. Today is finally the day. Welcome in to Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and we are going to be diving into tonight's matchup against the Washington Commanders. It's Seattle, Washington versus Washington, D.C. Your Seahawks are favored right now in this one to come out on top in that Sunday night football action. I'm going to dive into the key injuries for players that are missing. We're going to look at some matchups to watch, and of course, I'm going to give you my top 5 performers for your Seattle Seahawks. And I want to make sure that you don't miss our watch party. We are going to be live tonight, an hour before the game. So here on Central Time, that means we're going to be live at 6 o'clock. Whatever time zone that you are in, an hour before the game, come on and join us. Subscribe to the channel so that way you get the notification and you can come hang out with your favorite bros, talking football, talking Seahawks football, especially if you can't be at the game. You do not want to miss it. So we're looking at our full screen graphic right here for your Seattle Seahawks, 5-2 on the season, taking on the Commanders, who, look, let's face it, they're disappointed right now at their 3-5 record. That just, frankly, isn't good enough. They need to be improved, and I think you have a team that's kind of viewing themselves as a disappointment this year. They were a team that, after all the success, getting all the way to the NFC Championship game, that thought they should be a top team, that thought, hey, maybe this is your year. And now you're looking at a team that might not even make the playoffs, and there's a conversation of, do they need to be sellers at the deadline and get rid of some of their older players? We're going to look at 2 key injuries, one for each team. Seahawks, obviously, safety Julian Love. The news kind of broke earlier on this week that he had a injury to his hamstring, and we're also going to look at Terry McLaurin, the wide receiver for the Commanders. He's dealing with a quad injury that's going to keep him out for this one. Now, looking at the Seahawks player first, Julian Love, the injured hamstring in practice is not going to allow him to be available tonight. That is huge. I was saying early on in the week, look at him back at practice. You're so excited to see him. I'm so excited to see him in action. Seahawks are finally going to be 100% healthy in that secondary, and unfortunately, that just isn't the case. You don't have your captain there in the back end barking out orders. Now, in Washington, they are going to be missing Terry McLaurin. He was dealing with an injury to his thigh, to his leg, that kind of pulled him out of some of that Kansas City game. He was officially ruled out early on this week, and so he's not going to be running routes, trying to get open for quarterback and over there for the Washington Commanders. Now, here is my take. Both players are key losses for each team. Julian Love is huge for Seattle. Terry McLaurin is huge for the Commanders. But I do think that the Commanders are going to miss McLaurin a lot more than the Seahawks are going to miss Love. Why do I think that? I think because McLaurin is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and while Julian Love is one of the best safeties in the NFL, he has two capable backups. Now, you look at the depth chart there for Seattle. Obviously, Love is in that starting position, but you can see Ty Okada and Nick Emmanwori in that free safety and strong safety backup spots. Both of those guys have played incredibly well this year. Now, both have their issues that they need to work through. Okada needs to be more vocal. He needs to not get burned a couple times deep. Nick Emmanwori is still making key rookie mistakes. But both are able to fill in at a higher rate, at a better rate, at a more efficient rate than I think you're going to see the backups that are filling in for the Washington Commanders at that wide receiver position. Who do you think is going to be missed more? I'll let you know. I'd be in the comments right now typing TM for Terry McLaurin. But if you think maybe Julian Love is the bigger missing piece, it's going to be more important for the Seahawks to get him back ASAP. You can go down below in the comment section and type JL. Because, look, Love is a piece that is going to be clearly missed. I just think that Terry McLaurin, there isn't as much depth in his position room as there might be over in that safety room for Seattle. Next, we're going to dive into the matchups to watch. Now, obviously, there are going to be some key matchups, and I like to look traditionally in the trenches. So you're going to expect me to say, well, we need to look at the Seahawks running game versus this Commanders run defense. No. We're going to look at the offense, and we're going to look at the NFC October Offensive Player of the Month, Jackson Smith-Njigba. He is the best wide receiver in the NFL. He had a bye week last week, and he still leads the National Football League in receiving yards, and he's going up against the Commanders defense that, well, let's just be honest. They're not very good, and they're old. Look at what JSN has been able to do so far this season. 50 receptions. I told you that 819 in receiving yards. That's still more than everyone else in the NFL. Jamar Chase, doesn't have more than him. Justin Jefferson doesn't have more than him. You go through whoever is playing wide receiver, they are not better than Jackson Smith-Njigba. He is going to torch, and I mean torch, this secondary in Washington. Look at what he did in October. Look at that. 24 receptions, 417, and 3 tuds. Yeah, guess what? He did all that in 3 games. 3 of them. Everyone else that was one of the top offensive players of the month or defensive players of the month, they played 4 games. JSN didn't need 4. He did it all in 3. And I think he's going to absolutely torch this Commanders defense. No one has been able to guard him all season long. Don't be shocked if Seattle has the first receiver to get to 1,000 yards receiving, and don't be shocked if he does it on Sunday night. So far this year, the Commanders have ranked 26th in the National Football League when it comes to stopping the pass. I'm not just sitting up here saying, oh, they're not very good, and not having stats to back it up. They aren't good when it comes to stopping the pass. There's 32 defenses in the NFL. I might not be a math guy, but I'll tell you right now that 26 means you're ranking in the back end of the pack. It's not good enough. It's not good enough in Washington. That's why I expect to see a lot of this. Now, I don't know that JSN is going to be dunking anymore. Doesn't need to get fined by the National Football League. But I expect to see a lot of touchdown sellies from him. I expect him to get into the end zone multiple times in this game, and I do expect him to get 1,000 yards receiving. Is it a tall task? 180 yards receiving? Yeah, 100%. But in his last 3 games, he's gotten over 120 yards receiving, and I don't see why that'll stop here. The next matchup we have to dive into is the Commanders' running backs versus your Seattle Seahawks defensive line. The running game in Washington hasn't been great. It's been bolstered by some other people. And your Seahawks defensive line, well, they're better than great. They are the best right now in the National Football League. When you look at the Commanders' running backs, take out Jayden Daniels, take out Marcus Mariota's rushing yards. The Commanders' top 3 running backs have only ran for 664 yards. That's through 8 games. That means their running backs are averaging less than 100 yards a game. That rushing attack in Washington is being bolstered by Daniels, who's your number 2 runner on this team in Washington. By the way, he's missed multiple games this year. And Mariota, he's 4th. Old-ass Marcus Mariota is the 4th leading rusher in Washington, has over 100 yards. They're going up against the Seahawks defense that has and is allowing 75 rushing yards per game. That ain't a whole lot. They're not allowing teams to get into the end zone, and they're really keeping those yards per carry down. Now, why are they so good at this? Well, because you have a bunch of players on that defensive line that are winning one-on-one matchups. But you're also running a scheme that allows linebackers to play downhill and quickly get into the backfield. And it's because that defensive line is forcing double teams. They are forcing teams to be locked in on Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams. They are forcing teams to be locked in on DeMarcus Lawrence. They don't give up rushing stats, man. They don't give up rushing stats in Seattle. Right now, the Seahawks, those numbers that I showed on that last graphic, top 2 in the NFL in all of them, and 2 of them they weren't 2. That's how good they are. You have a special defense in Seattle. It's not Legion of Boom necessarily, but that death zone is scary. Told you. 75 per game, that's first. Total rushing touchdowns on the season, that's tied for first. Yards per carry, second. That's how freaking good this defense is. And I think you're going to shut down this Commanders' rushing attack, and you're going to force Washington to be pass happy and only be able to throw the football. We're going to dive into my 5 Seahawks to watch, but before we do so, I need to tell you about the sponsor of today's episode, and that, of course, is Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in your lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections. If your picks are right, you could cash in. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going to go off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. I have a 2-pick power play for today. Sam Darnold, more on his passing yards against this Washington defense. George Pickens, more on his receiving yards against the Cardinals defense. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Tell you right now, it's good to be Sam Darnold. I got to be licking my chops if I'm Sam Darnold, and I'm getting ready to go up against this Commanders defense. They are not good at stopping the pass, and Sam Darnold has shown everyone that last year was not an anomaly in Minnesota. Anomaly is a hard word for some people to say, and I crushed it the second time. Look at the stats that you have going for Darnold. He is almost at 70% completion. He is going to get to 2,000 yards passing by his 8th game of the season. And most importantly is that turnover ratio there. The interceptions, most of them are weird deflections. The Tampa Bay interception off a dude's dome to a guy's hand. You have another interception against the Steelers. Great play by Hayward, knocking the ball up into the air so that his defensive end could go and make the interception. Sam Darnold's been great this season, and he's going to have what we used to call a stat sheet stuffer type of a game. He's going to go in, and it's going to be just like when he was at USC and they were playing that FCS Eastern Washington, Montana State, insert FCS bad school here, Portland State, and just wreak havoc against the Commanders. I already talked about him. JSN's getting to 1,000 yards in this game, man. He's getting to 1,000 yards on the season. I think that you're going to have your first 2,000-yard receiver as long as JSN stays healthy, and I think this is going to be a big game for him. You think the Commanders are going to come up with a game plan to slow him down, to stop him? No freaking shot. He's going to dominate in this one. I just had to make sure I got him on my watch list. AJ Barner, man, expect to see a lot of this. Barn stomping from Barner. That's his little celebration that he has. Right now, the Commanders are one of the worst teams in the NFL when it comes to stopping tight ends. They continue to find open gaps, getting inside the teeth of the defense, catching the football. And I know that Bobby Wagner, again, he's a great player. I love Bobby. And he's still doing a great job of getting tackles. What he is losing a step on, because he is a little bit older, is covering those tight ends. I think that you see a clear advantage there with A.J. Barner, especially for a player that when he's in the red zone, he catches the ball and he scores touchdowns. In his draft class, same draft class as Brock Bowers, A.J. Barner has the most receiving TDs of any tight end in that draft class. I think he's going to continue to excel. I think he has a couple big catches in this one as well. Byron Murphy's going to be my next player to watch. Now, is he at the bottom for any other reason other than, well, I just went 3 offensive players and then 2 defensive players? No, because there's a decent chance that on some people's list, he could be the number 1 guy. If he has another big game, the Commanders are going to have to pass the ball all day long. If he stops that running attack that they have in Washington, all they can do is throw the football. And that leaves life a lot easier for the next guy on the list, Leonard Williams, because now he can pin his ears back and go. DeMarcus Lawrence can pin his ears back and go. Uchenna Nwosu can pin his ears back and go. But especially Leonard Williams. He can go in and get after this passing attack and the quarterback over in Washington. Byron Murphy and Williams, they're going to dominate this rushing attack. The Commanders aren't ready for it. You have the best defensive line in the National Football League right now. All 3 of those guys in the interior are winning, and all 2 guys on the edge are winning as well. No one's blocking Nwosu. No one's blocking DeMarcus Lawrence. Why? Because they're going to have to throw the double teams at Murphy and Williams. Because if they don't, those 2 guys are going to eat more than anybody else in this game. That was my preview. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We are going to be live tonight, an hour before kickoff. You do not want to miss out. Subscribe to the channel. Come hang out with us at the watch party. I'll see you guys later on tonight. Bang! Shout out the social meds. What is up? You can go follow me at Will Ortner on Twitter and on Instagram. I think on Instagram, we're closing in at that 800 mark. Shout out to your boy. We're closing in. We're almost there. Ooh. Someone's getting their license tomorrow. We're getting real close. I'm trying to load up the numbers so that I don't mislead you. But right now, the Wi-Fi is just a little bit slow. We're 10 followers away on Instagram from that 800 mark, excuse me. That means I'd have 800 Instagram followers, 920 over on Twitter. We're closing in on 2,000 total. That is fantastic. Like Shadow Onyx, we saw you, super. Appreciate you. We're going to get you in probably a couple times now in that video. No worries. Shout out to Light Shadow Onyx, real one, hanging out. We hang out in Twitter as well. Big time follower over on Twitter. Now, Light Shadow Onyx says, Woolen to the Bears. Any players from the Bears? Would we trade him over to the Bears? It's a good question. I don't know that there's a return there from the Bears. Like, who on their offensive line do they send back to you? I don't really see anybody that sticks out to me particularly. And then when it comes to like corners, I don't know if I want any of their corners. I don't know that there's anybody in Chicago that I necessarily want. I think right now you're pretty solid. You're pretty solid with the crew that you have, at least from the Bears' perspective. Now, if you told me I could throw Riq Woolen into a trade to get Peter Skoronski in Tennessee, yeah. Now, you're going to have to throw more than just Riq Woolen. There's going to have to be a pick involved. Peter Skoronski would be an absolute amazing addition in Seattle. Want to make sure I get these shout-outs. Thank you guys so much for following me on Instagram. Ralph, and is this Ben? It is Ben. Ben Johnson. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for following me over on Instagram. Ralph, I saw you, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to you. All right, so here's what I think we're going to do. Producer Reed, let's get the countdown clock up and going. What do you say? 3 minutes? I think we're going to do 3 minutes. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to use the hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the show today. Here's how it works. There's going to be a lucky few who use the hashtag Seahawks that we will be able to show on the show. And you will be a part of the video that goes out on Saturday. If you say to yourself, Will, I never get picked, you can send in a Super Chat just like Light Shadow Onyx did, just like Chad did, just like AJ did, just like Dredd did. They will be on our Saturday video as well as be on today's video as well. So you can send in that Super Chat or use the hashtag Seahawks to get on the show. Let's get that thing rocking and rolling, Producer Reed. And just like that, you guys have 3 minutes. 3 minutes to get it rocking and rolling. See if you can't get your question on today's show as well as our Saturday show. Appreciate each and every one of you for coming in, hanging out. 78 viewers, 106 likes. That's fantastic. I'm doing 20 flights of the Stairmaster before the Sunday watch party. 20 flights. If you send in a super, that would be added to it as well. So make sure that if that's something that you would like to be a part of, you can do that as well. 1,000 views today. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Producer Reed, is there anything that you'd like to say to anybody?
Boo!
No. That scared me. I was not ready for that.
Halloween.
Shout out Paulie. What up, man? On the road from the West Coast to Boston. Dude, shout out to you, Paulie, watching the show. Well, I hope you're not driving. If you are, I hope you're just listening. But if you're in the passenger seat, you're a passenger prince just like me. I hope that I hope that you're enjoying the show, and I hope that you're driving safely. Hope that you're driving safely. Thank you, Ralph, for using the hashtag Seahawks. We appreciate that. No run zone. Yep. Death zone is what they're being called in some spots. Max, good to see you. Oh, airplane. That makes more sense, Paulie. That makes more sense. I don't know why I instantly went, oh, of course, Paulie's driving across the country. I don't know why I thought that. That's on me. Airplane makes more sense. Do they have us on airlines? Welcome to Insert Airline here, the home of Chat Sports. Is that how we know we officially made it? If we make it onto an airline? If we make it onto an airline, is that the official we've made it? I'd agree with that. Let's not make passenger prince a thing. I can't make jokes here, Dredd. I can't make one joke. I can't make jokes anymore, apparently. I'm just teasing. 30 seconds. Get your hashtags in. Pop, I see you. I appreciate it. I see you using the hashtag Seahawks. It's been fun, guys. I appreciate hanging out with each and every single one of you. We're going to do our last segment as soon as this countdown is done. We'll come back after the segment, say adios, and then we'll be on our merry way. But, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Sunday. Ooh, I should do it this way. Sunday. Live an hour before the Seahawks and Commanders game, 6 o'clock. We will be doing our watch party. Myself, Producer Reed, we will be hanging out. You do not want to miss. Dredd said one joke, no more. Serious Will Ortner the rest of the way. I got you. All right, Producer Reed. We ready to get this thing up and rolling? Fan-freaking-tastic. Thank you guys so much. Everyone who came in decided to hang out with us. This is our longest live that we have ever done on a Thursday. It's our first time. We did 4 of these things. 4 of these things. So we're going to get into the mailbag. You're not only getting to watch it right now, but if you are on it and you want to show all your friends Saturday, you can show your friends on Saturday. Without further ado, we're going to get into it. Welcome into Seahawks Today. I'm your host, Will Ortner, and I need you to go in and smash that thumbs up button. Like the video so that your Seattle Seahawks can get their first victory in, 13 days? 13 days because they played on a Monday night. Smash the like button for a Seahawks dub on Sunday. Light Shadow Onyx, what up? Good to see ya. Real one here. Trade Walker or Sharp for A-Chain. Here's where I'm at on the A-Chain train. I think that somebody just misheard Devon A-Chain's name and the Seahawks. I think it was an overheard conversation. I don't know why the Seahawks would trade for Devon A-Chain. I think that Kenneth Walker is just as good. Sharp might be a step down, but you're not going to trade Sharp and have Walker and A-Chain. That just doesn't make sense to me since they're such similar style of running backs. So I don't see a trade being made there for your Seahawks, but it's been very clear from the NFL insiders that you want to make a trade. So where will that trade come from? Where will it be? I think it might be in a different position group, maybe in that offensive line. Still helping out that run game. Chad, what up, man? Good to see you. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Chad. Teller would be my pick, but it sounds like there is some beef with current players on the roster. So Chad's talking about offensive guard Wyatt Teller. He's a trade target that we have been mentioning here on the channel for your Seattle Seahawks for quite some time now. Now, this graphic that we have up on the screen, we made that thing early October. I don't think it was quite late September. But then all of a sudden, everyone came out and said, whoa, Wyatt Teller, maybe he'll end up in Seattle, a couple days ago. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel because we get there first, and we're pretty darn accurate when we have some trade targets for your Seattle Seahawks. Wyatt Teller does have some beef with the team, though. He's the one who went high-low and ended up injuring Uchenna Nwosu. Now, if it's a regular season game, not necessarily a dirty play, but definitely a play that is looked frowned upon. It's a frowned upon play. And the defense here in Seattle does not like him. Greg Bell, a beat reporter for the Seahawks, came out and said that Wyatt Teller would not be traded for. I still think there's an option to trade for Teller. He fits your long-term plan. He is a player that would be an instant upgrade, as well as you could re-sign him and keep him here for a long time. Smoothing it over with the guys might take a week or two, but I do think that is a moving option that Seattle can make. Kalani, what's up? Good to see you. Getting in at the buzzer, I see. Aloha Hawks. Aloha from Hawaii. Let's go, Hawks. We should trade Riq Woolen. Look, man, he's been on the block for the last month. I think if you can use him to go and get offensive line help, that would be fantastic. Now, the question is do you use Riq Woolen to go and get Wyatt Teller, Joel Bitonio, Kevin Zeitler, or are you able to use him to go to the Tennessee Titans and say, hey, this guy and a pick, and then we get Peter Skoronski? Now, if you're able to make that trade for Skoronski, man, one, that's fantastic. You instantly upgrade your right guard position, whether it's Zabel who moves over or Skoronski who plays that position. But more importantly, you have two of the best young guards in the National Football League. Now, that obviously is a fairy tale type of ask, fairy tale type of want, but you've pulled a couple of those off. Ernest Jones wasn't an easy trade piece. Leonard Williams wasn't an easy trade piece for you. So these are all options. I still don't know if Riq Woolen does get traded because I think right now you're a little beat up. You're a little hurt in the secondary. But if you are going to make a move and move on from Riq Woolen and make a trade, shoot, I wouldn't be too upset if you went in and grabbed an offensive lineman, helped build yourself up. I think that could be a good move. That could be a good piece for you. As well. Hope the weather out there in Hawaii is nice and wonderful because it's getting a little bit chilly over here in Texas. Borgen donor. All right, that one got me. I love the burners that we have here hanging out with us on Seahawks Today. Borgen donor. I've been a Borgen donor a time or two. Will Julian Love ever get healthy this season? Obviously, heartbreaking news for your Seattle Seahawks. Julian Love, the safety, re-injured his hamstring. There's a conversation that he's going to go on IR. At this point, I kind of want him to go on IR. Like, Ty Okada has been fine. He's been pretty good, better than serviceable for your Seattle Seahawks. But I would not mind Julian Love going on to IR so that he's ready for the postseason. You're going to the postseason this year. If I'm the first person to tell you that, congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. You've done it. You are going to the playoffs, and you need your team at 100% health to be the best, right? We saw it last year with Detroit. They had too many injuries, and so they were not able to move past the Washington Commanders. Their defense really suffered. Don't do the same thing. Don't make the same mistake. Let Julian Love get healthy. Let him sit out a little bit of time, and then bring him back when he's 100%. Trigger, real one, shows up every Thursday and every Sunday, man, putting in that work. Shout out Trigger. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Trigger. Do you think B-Wags will ever return to Seattle to retire a Hawk? Not only do I think B-Wags will, I think that Tyler Lockett will as well. Obviously, Tyler Lockett just got cut by the Tennessee Titans, and I came on here and I said in a video, I don't want him. I don't want him in Seattle because he wouldn't replace anybody. That does not mean that I do not want him to retire a Seahawk. Bobby Wagner, Tyler Lockett are all-time greats. Cool that you're playing in Washington, D.C. for the last couple of years. Bobby, come home when it's time to retire. Sign the 1 day, retire a Seattle Seahawk. Tyler Lockett, man, that's cool you got to team up with Pete Carroll again. Awesome. Fantastic. Keep going, man. You have a long career. But you got your real estate license out in Washington. You're going to return to Seattle a lot. Retire a Hawk. Come back, sign a 1 day, retire in Seattle. Joshua, what's up, man? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. What player do you think the Seahawks will trade for? Now, I think when we go through our trade target graphic, I think it's pretty easy to see when it comes to offensive line targets that these are the clear, concise, hey, one of these three guys goes to Seattle. No one's shocked. No one's surprised. Wyatt Teller, Joel Bitonio, Kevin Zeitler, they're all on the last year of their contracts. They are all good guards that would be upgrades from what you have right now in Anthony Bradford. That being said, if you could find a way to go with the PFF fairy tale trade, Peter Skronsky, that's long-term and now. That's a long-term and right now. I do wish that Wyatt Teller didn't have some of the issues that he has with the Seahawks defense because he'd be the instant, far and away, number one easy choice. But obviously, with the beef there, it does make it sound like maybe Bitonio or Zeitler are a little bit easier guys to get in, easier guys to grab. But I'm not 100% certain on that one. I do think that you'd make a trade for one of the offensive linemen. Will Ortner's burner. What's up? That's not my burner. Unfortunately, I have a couple of them, but that's not one of them. Will Christian Haynes replace Anthony Bradford at right guard? Doesn't sound like it. Your head coach, Mike Macdonald, came out this week and said there were going to be no changes on the offensive line, and it really sounded like Anthony Bradford is the right guard to stay as long as they continue to stay with this offensive line group that you have. If there's a big trade, then yeah, I think there would be some changes there. But Christian Haynes coming back does at least hopefully push Bradford to play a little bit better, to improve some of the things that he's really been struggling with. But right now, Christian Haynes is not going to replace Anthony Bradford, and that's much to the chagrin, I think, of a lot of big fans of your Seattle Seahawks. Coach Dreadhead, how you doing? Good to see you. If we trade Riq Woolen, what would be the position that you trade for? Same position or on the offensive side of the ball? I think right now with a lot of the rumors that you're seeing for the Seahawks, it would be on that offensive side of the ball, and it would be for the offensive line. That being said, I do think that there is a world where Riq Woolen could be traded for another corner. If you think that there is a improvement, like Rasul Douglas, right? We had a conversation about him. Hey, if the Seahawks can go and get Rasul Douglas, and he's going to be your corner in Seattle, that could be a big trade piece for you. that could be an improvement in that corner position where, yes, you're moving on from Riq Woolen, but you get a corner that better fits your system. And you're also not making that cornerback position even more susceptible to injuries. So that could be a move that you could see potentially. Now, I think that's a longer shot than it is for the offensive side, specifically the offensive line position. But there have been rumors. There were leaks. You were at least rumored to be interested in Roger McCreary, the Tennessee Titans corner that just got traded this week. So it's not out of the question. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But I don't know that it's necessarily your number one option right now in Seattle. Make sure you go in. You like this video. You love the Seattle Seahawks. We've got content coming out every single day. You don't want to miss any of it. I'm going to get into some more of your questions here before we wrap up the show. But before I do that, I need to let you know about the proud sponsor of today's video, and that, of course, is Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if your picks are right, you could cash in. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. I have a 2-pick power play for this weekend. Sam Darnold, more on his passing yards. George Pickens, more on his receiving yards. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Max, what up, man? Good to see you. Real one, hanging out every Thursday. Love and appreciate you. Do you think Kubiak is going to continue getting cute with the trick plays? Unfortunately, Max, yeah, I do think he is going to. It seems to be a thing that he loves to do, and I don't understand why. Why do we need a Cooper Kupp pass? He's 0 for 5 in his career, 0 for 4 before the Texans game. Why? Sam Darnold's been awesome. Let's leave him in there. Let's let him throw the football. We're paying him a lot of money, a lot more money than I'm getting paid. Let's let him throw the football. That's what he's supposed to do. That's his job. I think I'm over the cute trick plays. Go back to being normal. Run the football. Be strong with the football. Trust your team. Trust your quarterback. You pay him a lot of money. Let him throw the football. Jacob, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Speaking of trick plays, we've seen little of Jalen Milroe, and when we have, it's been unimpressive. Should he get more experience in games where we have a lead to attempt to get him more experience and play time? If he's on the active roster, yes. Now, here's the problem is you've had him as a healthy scratch for a lot of time this season. The reason you've done that is so that you can get more players like a Shaq Griffin, Jared Ivey. Used it to get Brandon Peely up more. And so what you've done is you've made him your emergency third-string quarterback. So you haven't had time to get him into games. Now, if you're playing a team like the Commanders and the Seahawks love their game plan and they think that they are going to blow out Washington, why not put him on the active roster? If you don't think that some of your injury issues are going to pop up, sure. I would love to see Jalen Milroe get, I don't know, a drive, 2, 3. If you're up big, why not let Jalen Milroe get some reps? The more reps that you get, I think that the better that you can be. He's a player that has all the talent in the world, but he's very raw. He needs his talent to be more accentuated, and the best way to do that is to get more reps, to see more time on the field, to watch more film of yourself, watch more film of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's a perfect example of just being in the NFL for, more than a handful of years can put you in the right position. It can help elongate your career or really jumpstart your career back up. So why couldn't Jalen Milroe have this? And he wouldn't even be jumpstarting his career up. He's still a young player. There's still a lot of room for improvement. He'd be growing his career. So yes, I would like to see him, but I just don't know that they're going to have him on the active roster for those opportunities to come unless they really think a team sucks. Richard Petak. Good to see you, Richard. How you doing? Why not pick the favorite rookie guard and give him a chance with Cable Do or Richmond? I see what you're saying. Okay, so Richard's saying that instead of going to Christian Haynes or Anthony Bradford, you know what you have there. Why not go with Cable Do or Richmond, and whichever one is the better guard right now, have them play? Well, because then your interior would be Gray Zabel, a rookie. Jalen Sundell, a guy who's only in, I believe it's his second year in the NFL. He's a younger player. And then you would have a rookie at that right guard position. It's a lot of youth. It's a lot of young players that you'd be trusting to be active and to give it a go. I would love to see what Cable Do has. I would love to see what Richmond has. But right now, I don't know if the best option for you is to go rookie at left guard, young player at center, rookie at right guard. And I also think that, well, yes, I am sitting here saying I've had enough of Anthony Bradford. I'd like you to move on from him. I do think it is telling that Mike Macdonald very quickly, I might add, shut down. We are not benching Anthony Bradford. When you have a coach that says that, that tells me that as bad as Bradford might have been so far this year, everyone else around him is worse. Sometimes those things happen. So unfortunately right now, you either need to make a trade right before November 1st or 4th, or you better hope that John Schneider hits on another guard in the NFL draft. Hugh Jazz. Good to see you, Hugh Jazz. What makes Gray Zabel so special? It's his athleticism right now, and it's his football IQ. While PFF hasn't been as kind to Gray Zabel as I think they should be, frankly, I think he's played much better than what the grade they have for him, there are still things that he's working through, obviously. He still has his times where he makes mistakes. But when he does make mistakes, Gray Zabel doesn't make them a second time. Or if he does lose a one-on-one rep, he doesn't get beat. He doesn't get burned. It's like a slight win to the defense. It's the defense just being able to just hold on to the gap. And with a little bit of extra time out on the field, a little bit of extra reps, by years 2 and 3, those aren't losses for Gray Zabel. They're wins. He's so athletic. He's able to get reach blocks. He's able to get backside linebackers that just nobody else does. That opens up big holes for Kenneth Walker. His athleticism is what makes him special. You got a real one. You got a star in Zabel. Light Shadow Onyx. Good to see you. How's it going? Woolen to the Bears. Any players from the Bears? Right now, I don't see you trading Riq Woolen to the Bears because I don't know that the Bears have anyone that you'd be interested in. Is there an offensive lineman that sticks out to you that you really want from Chicago? No. There isn't really a corner that sticks out to me. I really definitely don't want DeAndre. If I don't want Devon Achane, I really don't want DeAndre Swift. Really don't want it. So I don't see the Bears trade happening, but that might just be me. Dread, what's up? Happy November 1st, man. Thank you to all who served. You are what makes this country amazing. Yes, shout out. It is Salute to Service Month here. So I do want to make this very clear. We have our watch party on Sunday. Every super chat equals a flight of stairs that I will complete. I want to show my thanks to those who served. I have a member of my family who is a Marine, Grandpa Gary Ortner. Love him dearly. Love our troops. We are the land of the free because of the brave. So I want to make sure that I salute those who served and show my gratitude as well. So thank you, first of all, and I will be making sure that I do my part in helping out veterans as best I can. Not just in November because it's Salute to Service Month, but the entire 365 going forward. Here's your Week 9 matchup. Tomorrow, Seahawks travel to the fake Washington, take on the Commanders. 5-2 versus 3-5. I think your Seahawks are going to be able to get the job done, and they're going to come away with a very nice victory on Sunday Night Football. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any Seattle Seahawks news or information. We got videos coming out every single day. And until next time, I will see you later. Shout out, we did it! We did it! The longest live that we've ever done on a Thursday. Man, am I tired. Hour 45, says producer Reed. That is a long, long show. Jeremiah, shout out to you, man. Thank you for following me on Instagram. I appreciate it. The road to 800, we're almost there. Pretty soon the road to 1,000. We're closing in. We're closing in. Shout out to everyone who followed me on Twitter or Instagram, and shout out to everyone who was hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Shout out to Kalani before we sign off. Marine First Radio Bravo Company. Thank you, Kalani. Thank you. Thank you for your service. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Thank you. Want to make sure that we have a special shout out to those who serve. Again, like I said, land of the free because of the brave. Appreciate everyone for hanging out. Appreciate Ralph and Max. Appreciate Kalani, Smoke, Burp. Good to see you. Richard, at the buzzer. The man himself. At the buzzer. What's up? Good to see you. Pop, thank you, man. Thank you. Dread, thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out. The man himself at the buzzer. Getting on the show. How many wins do you think we can pull off before we get 100% healthy? I would like to see an edge rusher or an interior offensive lineman for Woolen. Thoughts? Couldn't agree more. I think personally, I would prefer an interior offensive lineman for Woolen. I've gone through that at length today. That being said, if you went and got an edge rusher, like if Kayvon Thibodeau really is on the market, I don't really think he is, but if he is, if Bradley Chubb is on the market and you can make a move for him, do it. As good as this rush has been, as good as this defensive line has been, you don't have that true, Trey Hendrickson type. You don't have that true edge rusher, Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, Von Miller back in the day, where no one's going to block Myles Garrett. If you could make a trade for an edge rusher where no one's going to block him, ooh, boy, think about how good this defense could be. And then how many wins do I think we can pull off before we're 100% healthy? Why couldn't you run the table? Let's say Julian Love goes on IR. You got 4 games going. You're a damn good football team. Sometimes you don't even need to look at the schedule with this Seahawks team. That's how good you are. You're going to be in every game. You're not going to get blown out barring crazy turnover mischief. You're a really good frickin' team. I think the Seahawks can win every game. Will they? Not necessarily. But I think you can win a lot of games before Julian Love comes back for you. Man, that's awesome. Jack, shout out to you. Appreciate you. The man himself. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Guys, I got 30 flights of stairs. So make sure that you follow me on X and on Instagram. I'm going to get that thing done either on Halloween or I'll get it done on the 1st. I'll document it on my social media. I'm going to document it on X and on Instagram. I'll make sure you'll get a sweaty mirror gym selfie of me or something. I don't know. You'll know that I got the job done, though. I appreciate it. I got that for you guys. So thank you guys so much. It was great hanging out with you guys today. Thank you to producer Reed. Absolutely killing it on the 1s and 2s. And we will see you guys on Sunday when the Seahawks go into Washington and kick some commander you-know-what. See ya.